What is up, legends? We are back, and we're back with the top five Gacha games of 2021. Now, this list is interesting because what I had to do is what I wanted to do is not have this list be personal interest. I want this to basically be objective truth. Like you can't deny it. It's what it is. Even if you don't like the certain games, they are what they are. They made the money that they make, and they get the press that they get. So each game on this list has made over 50 million for the year. And that's impressive for a gacha game. And that's the prerequisite for the top five. Each one has made over 50 million for the year, including the games that I'm going to talk about right now are close to that, which is Raid Shadow Legends, Summoner's War, Dragon Ball, Fate, and the Honkai Impact. Now, Honkai Impact is probably the lowest on the list and probably the most disappointing because I think Honkai is kind of just as good as Genshin, but Honkai has not done well this year compared to the previous years, and I think it might be because of Genshin. I think Genshin is what's killing Honkai, but it's still a great game, and I totally dislike Raid Shadow Legends, but it's obviously a 50 million profit game. That it's just is so much so that they actually try to give so much money to content creators to play that game and have so many commercials, which a lot of them are misleading. I don't like that, but it just kind of like is what it is at the end of the day. Summoner's War is kind of getting like it's fading out finally, and the Dragon Ball games, which is what you're looking at right now, Dragon Ball Legends and Dokkan actually are making less money this year than the previous year. It could definitely be because of the pandemic. But it kind of is what it is at the end of the day. They just aren't making the same money, and Fate probably finally is fading off, which is a little bit sad. I was never a Fate fan, but I'm a little bit sad for the fans and the companies because it's an anime game, and it's one of the few anime games that actually sticks around and does well. So is what it is. Now, without further ado, we are going to get into the top five, and again, every single game on this list has made 50 million. Number five, Epic 7, boys. All right, so Epic 7 is still one of the mainstays on Twitch and on YouTube as a very popular, I guess you say anime gacha title. It just does well. It breathes money, and there's nothing wrong with that. To me personally, the game is lacking in the gear department because the gear is super RNG for no reason, and they could just do better with that. If they did better with that, this game would be going crazy on Twitch right now, be going crazy on YouTube right now. They just don't seem to want to do it for whatever reason, but it's still a quality game. It's still probably one of the best gacha games on the market. It's just like it's really self-inflicted popularity downturn. It's self-inflicted. There's no other way to explain it than that this game should be a whole lot more popular, a whole lot more money making than what it is. It's just the dev itself is holding it back, and that's crazy. It's crazy when you hear that and you say that, you're like, damn, how could the dev hold its own product back? But I really think that's the case. This game could be amazing if they would just fix and balance out the gear system, which is the reason why it's not, maybe first or something like that, is because it's holding itself back. Keeping in the topic of successful and good, No Kuni, all versions, whether it be the JP version, Taiwanese version, and I believe the Taiwanese and Chinese versions are separate. So this game actually caught me off guard, to be honest with you, when I first played it, because I didn't think it was going to be that good. It's actually a really good game. What caused me to not play this as much on my channel is I just didn't have any time, and I've been meaning so much to try to come back to it and play it because it's really an amazing game. Just really good game. So this is the JP version. JP version is great because it has a lot of stuff that could help you out when it comes to English and everything else. Like the Chinese version, not so much, but the JP version, yes. This game plays kind of like Genshin and Honkai, and it controls really well. And I thought that was excellent, considering that Netmarble usually doesn't do well when it comes to that type of stuff, because this is a Netmarble game, but it's actually a really good and fun game. Now, as far as money, that's where I was shocked at how much money this is actually making. This is another game that is a $50 million profit game. and it hasn't been out all year. It came out like, you know, early part of the year, but it hasn't had like, you know, January, February, and March all to reach that mark, and it's already at that mark, and it seems to be growing. The popularity seems to be growing. Doesn't really have that big of a popularity on Twitch because not many people are going to play it. Obviously, I played it once and kind of went by the wayside. People kind of copy me. They don't want to admit it, but they do copy me. So if I didn't play it enough, you're not going to see it a lot, to be honest with you, because you aren't going to copy it. So unfortunately, you know, it doesn't really have a Twitch or YouTube presence, but it's still a really good game. And as far as money, it's made that money. It got them the bag. So props to them. And Netmarble was out there doing things. Next up, we have Cookie Run Kingdom, which this is not a shock, by the way. I just didn't know where on the list it was going to be. And I didn't know it would be this high on the list as far as gacha games. This game it just breeds money. You just wake up and I made $1 million. That's what Cookie Run Kingdom says. This is a really unisex game, and it has people playing of all ages. In fact, it's my mom's favorite game. You know, and it's not like I didn't put this at number 3 because of that, but like I understood really early the assignment when it came to this game. And on top of that, it has some of some of the most famous, I guess you could say, anime voices, whether it be Japanese or English, and like has a lot of famous people actually voicing characters in this game, and a lot of people play this game. It has a lot of content, and it might be the most free-to-play game on this entire list. Like, they just give away stuff all the time. They just give you, like, you just wake up this morning, you probably got 10 summons. You start the game, you're probably gonna have 100 summons to roll with. This game just does that, and a lot of people kind of like, I guess, underestimate this game because it's cookies. You know, you're fighting with cookies, but this is actually a really good and strategic game, and it has just a whole bunch of content, y'all. Just give it a try. And on top of that, you have this city builder type of Sims thing going on right here, where you can actually just make some really good stuff, and the illustrations, as you can see, aren't that bad either. Even though they're cookies, but you gotta take what you can get when it comes to this type of stuff. So, like, in my opinion, it deserves the number 3, especially because it's over 50 million again for the year. And if you look at the YouTube category for this, look at what some of the YouTubers are doing, the 100 million views a video, that type of thing. Like, it's doing numbers out here. It's doing major numbers that when I started looking at it, I was like, bro, what's going on? Cookie Run Kingdom? 1 million per video? What's happening? Like, they're doing their thing. They don't have much of a Twitch presence, to be honest, but man, the YouTube presence is something fierce. So you want to make that money on YouTube, go for it. You're gonna definitely get that money out. Legends. Let me tell you a story. Did you know Musume might be the most popular gacha in the world? Second, maybe, to what number 1 is, but you probably wouldn't know that because global always assumes that we dominate the whole world, and we don't. The Asian market dominates the whole world. And the crazy thing is the amount of money this game makes and the hype and the fandom that this game has. Now, not for nothing, this is actually a cool game. You're pretty much just doing what you're looking at right now. You're essentially, you know, grooming these horsewomen to actually, you know, win races and be cute winning races, and it's kind of exciting. I'm not gonna lie, when I was playing it and checking it out, it's kind of cool. I kind of dig this. It can, like, the girls be sitting up there, they be wilding sometimes. It's kind of funny, and I gotta give it to them that this is not a game that I ever thought would be a top 5 game in the world. But it actually is. It's weird how games end up being amazing out of nowhere, and it's something that you would never think is. But this is one of those games, and it deserves a second spot. It's like a worldwide phenomenon, and they're very successful right now. So props to them, and I hope they make it global sooner or later. It's going to be a big thing. Number 1, like you couldn't have guessed this, is Genshin Impact. Now, Genshin really hasn't changed at all. What they have done this year is they've leaned more on the cute sexy and masculine characters, even though they kind of nerfed them. Like Ito, when they come out, Ito don't look nothing like what he's supposed to look like. He just looks like reskinned Zhongli, but he got attitude and story, and that's kind of cool, so I can dig it. At any rate, the game itself just makes money. It makes a whole lot of money. The characters are lovable. Like my Raiden, my A, like that's my main character. It's gonna be my main character for a long time unless they make a dark skinned waifu that looks amazing. That's gonna take. She's just A is gonna be main for a long time. Before her was Kaching, and people were Kaching kind of whacked. She's not super strong or anything. Bro, I didn't even care. I do 20k damage, and the boss dead. So that's all I need to care about. And I can swag and style with it, and she flip her hair and look cute. That's all I care about at the end of the day. So with that said, that's how you play Genshin. You look cute and you do damage, and then you go home. That's it works. It works. They didn't have to change anything this year. They still are over 100 million in profit, and probably way more than that. Because I took this from I think like November, from January to November, so they probably might be 150 million by now because they're in the Ito, and then like what's gonna happen, what happened recently with everything. So we'll see as far as in terms of how much money they have really done overall. That's not going to affect this list in any way. They still are the #1 game, the #1 gacha game. Everybody knows about Genshin. It has a strong Twitch presence, has a strong YouTube presence. They probably have broken every gacha record so far that could be broken right now. So they are the undisputed #1 until something rises up and takes it out. It's not going to be anything anytime soon, to be honest with you. Definitely not going to be Tower Fantasy until they get their ish together, if they ever get it together. And it's just, that's the par for the course. So it's been a really interesting year. And gaming wise, we didn't get as many hits as we're normally used to, or many big projects as we're normally used to, because obviously because COVID has stopped that, and COVID is ramping up again with this Omicron variant. So we may not get anything that's like Genshin anytime soon for at least 2 or 3 years, because it takes a while to make a game like Genshin. Like, it doesn't just sprout up and everybody is like, well, this isn't Genshin, so whatever. Like, you won't play anything if that's the case, because there's not going to be many games of that quality coming out anytime soon, because it's very hard to do something of that quality right now. So we're probably going to be looking at Genshin for a while, and we really do need something else to rise up and challenge it, so it'll push to be an even better game. It's a cool game right now, but you can kind of tell that they're kind of coasting right now, because they haven't made like really massive changes out of anything. It's added other things and gave us quality of life and new characters, but the game itself as a core balance has not changed at all the past year, which is crazy because it's still #1. It's still making that much money, and it hasn't really changed that much over this course of time, except just give us new characters and new cute things to look at. So I'm hoping that they don't rest on their laurels and kind of blow us away this next year. But it still will probably make 100 million anyway. And so that's my top 5, objective top 5, because it's based off of stats, it's based off of YouTube and Twitch and everything else that goes along with that, and it's objective. So I'll catch you guys next video. Peace. Thank you, Legends, for getting to the end of the video. We do 3 to 4 videos every day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be first in notification squad. I love everybody who stops by, and I will see you next video. Peace.